Alrighty, welcome back to another video. So, the Valhalla summon just opened, and you can see from that face, we got a new costume for somebody. And who else do we get than the Queen of Rush Wars? Oh well, the former Queen of Rush Wars, Alfrike, or Alfrike, or I have no idea how else you want to pronounce her name, but basically, Alfrike has a new costume. Now, the reason why I say she's a former queen of Rush Wars is because right now, I think everyone is moving slowly to not using Alfrike for Rush Wars and instead are using heroes like Aramis. I think Aramis is like the most dominant tank, regardless whether is it in regular wars or in Rush Wars. He's going to be such a pain in the ass together with Ludwig and Lady the Winter. So much so that Alfrike has generally become outshadowed. Hell, even Madanov, Heimdall, and Elbrick, all which are usually revivers and therefore being very valuable in Rush Wars, have been severely overshadowed by defenses just being purely offensive and not basically giving you that much avenue for you to tile dump. So let's have a look at the costume and see what has changed. So just to remind, previously an Alfrike without costume deals 200% damage to hit targets, and she casts 5 random dark cubes where they reduce the max health, and also cast mindless attack for 3 turns. Now her double limit broken alpha power is damage reduction, which was very good. I mean, if you have you start the battle with negative 10% damage reduction, that's really good. Now when you look at the costume, so first thing first, she changes from being a wizard to a paladin. So if you're still going to put her as your tank for Rush Wars, a paladin at tank is potentially one of the stronger ways you can keep your tank alive, because the paladin class gives you a chance to get a much higher defense, and at the same time her alpha power is now ailment immunity, so you can't even mindless Alfrike in the first 6 turns. You would have to dispel this ailment immunity first before you can apply any ailments on her, which makes her all the more powerful. Add together this costume bonus, which is 7% attack and defense, 13% health, and 5% mana bonus. That makes her potentially really, really hard to kill. Now let's see what her special skill does. Cavalier, Head of the Dark Realm, deals 240% damage to hit targets, so that's 40% higher. Cast 5 dark cubes to random enemies, so it's basically the same thing. Reduces max health of the target by 184, so it's less than the previous one, which was at 224. Which I think it's not too significant of a difference. Added to the fact that most of the players right now, they're using boosted health as one of the mechanisms for you to stay alive. The fact that max health reduction is actually stronger against boosted health already makes it such that the 40 point difference doesn't really matter too much. And finally, enemies hit automatically cast mindless attack on a random ally when mana is full at the start of a turn during 3 turns. So, at the very least, you get a beefier Alfrike as a tank. The mechanics of her special skill still stays the same. All you get is a harder to kill Alfrike. So what do I think? Is this costume worth chasing right now, due to the fact that everybody has some form of ailment block? You do have heroes like Faiz, Knuckles, Kitty, Lady the Winter, Garnet, Aramis, all those heroes that give ailment immunity. You kind of could feel that the value of Alfrike is slowly dropping. But that being said, I think for completion's sake, and if you're playing in an alliance that is not in the top 10 or 20, perhaps you will still see a predominantly Alfrike defense in and out. And getting the costume And if you're looking to have, you know, a double limit break on Alfrike, why not? Then this one becomes really good and beneficial to have just based on the stats alone. So we have 22 pulls here. We're gonna hope for something. I don't know, maybe, and let's see what we can get here. I don't mind getting a tier. The featured ones, so we haven't seen the featured ones as well. The other featured ones are tier costume, which is okay, decent, and costume sieve, which is actually quite good as well. Anything that boosts mana or gives mana to allies just to get him to charge faster, it's a win by my books. So this is a pretty good featured lineup. So I would say it will be kind of interesting, to kind of pull for this portal, just to see what you can get. There's also, other costumes as well that are around. Let's see. Okay, nothing. I'm desperately hoping for some tablets as well. There are other heroes as well that you can consider. Costume Loki is good for the stats. Costume Thor, reasonable. Freak. Costume Bera will be okay. Yeah, so you have even Costume Gafion as well with the buff to the mana boost and to the mana generation and her attack being quite high. She's actually just only about 5% lower than Sun Quan, which is at average, and she's at fast. So pretty decent, I would say, this portal with the costumes. I mean, if you can get past the fact that they didn't do anything new to the costumes for some of the costumes, then it's pretty okay. But also, you have to be aware that you can get season 1 crap as well, which you can use as feeders. Can never have enough feeders, but it'll be good if we can get something. 22 pools, you would hope for something at least. I don't know. That being said, I'm not going to be, overly pushing for Alfrike. I am leveling Hurricane right now, so I think Hurricane might replace Alfrike in my rush defenses. Who knows? Maybe. But we're not getting anything here, even though we're doing 22 pools. Come on, 5 more pools? Getting nonsense. All nonsense so far. Nothing new. I'm looking for Fura as well. Still haven't gotten Fura's costume. That one also will take a while. Hey, Dawa. Does that mean after Dawa is something good? I guess not. So anyways, do let me know what your thoughts are on the costume, on the Alfred costume. And if you get any good pulls, be sure to let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next video. GG.